Bryan Gould is an anomaly in Canada. He is a president of an oil and gas company, and he is optimistic about the future. Thanks for joining me. And when we talk about the future of oil and gas, I want to put the question to you. Do you regard climate change as an issue?
Yes, climate change is an issue. Human prosperity is an issue. Global security is an issue. These are all.
But you're oil and gas. You're talking about security, except unless you want to be warm at night.
These are all issues. So I would argue energy is fundamental to the geopolitical situation,
right,
and to global security. And what I would further argue is that the dictators of the world in China, Russia, North Korea, Iran, who are forming a new and very dangerous axis, by the way, to our way of living, are very happy for us to have a what I'll call climate-centric discussion on energy. Is climate and the environment important? Absolutely. But so is prosperity, helping people to feed themselves, to keep
planting fields, farmers, and keeping warm in winter.
Keeping warm. Roads, steel, plastic, fertilizer are all vitally important too. And I would submit that energy is fundamental to prosperity, and without prosperity, we cannot have sustainability and peace.
So you're not against efforts to diminish the impact, I guess, then, of global warming, if we can do anything as humans, because a lot of people say it's happening because it's nature. But when humans exacerbate it, you're not, as a president of an oil and gas company, you're not saying, well, you know what, we can't do anything about it.
Absolutely not. What I would say, though, is I think the time frame is exaggerated. I think the commitments and the statements that we're going to be off of fossil fuels by 2050 are a fallacy. And
right.
It's just not possible, and it will not happen, and it's delusional. But I would say that the world needs more energy, and in all likelihood, that energy will not come from fossil fuels, and it will have a different emissions profile than does production and use of fossil fuels. But in turn, those energy sources and uses will have their own environmental impacts, and those things all need to be taken into consideration. Life is about trade-offs. There is no perfect solution. There is no one-size-fits-all. What I would say, the good news to me, is the world's search for more and better forms of energy and devices to use it will lead to better prosperity for mankind, and that's a good thing. And whether that comes because you're concerned about the climate and emissions, or because you want to feed a growing population and have them prosper, as long as we go to the right place, that's a great thing.
I hope you run for office someday. You're an optimist and you know what you're talking about. Bryan Gould, thank you very much.
Thank you.
This show provides independent analysis of the issues. We are not paid by the government. And as I am finding, so much business in Canada relies upon various governments that they don't want to sponsor or advertise on a show which may become controversial, which talks about liberty, freedoms, sometimes criticizes government. I've had guests on that support the government. But people are saying, you know what? We don't want to bite the hand that feeds us, i.e. government, which is why I hope you'll subscribe and contribute to keep this show on the air.